Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Halloween special, only on the VSW. Thank you, folks. This is a great one. I am so happy to be back another year, another Halloween, my favorite time of the year. I love Halloween. I really do. It's my favorite holiday. I love scary stuff. It's always just played such a role, growing up. Horror movies were, a huge part of my life. Still weren't Saturday morning cartoons, still wasn't wrestling, but the horror movies, Friday nights, horror movies, go to the video store, rent a new flick. I'd always grab something scary. Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Puppet Masters. The other one I really like that I would get to watch a lot on TV is Tales of the Crypt. Great show. Quick stories, kind of funny, brought humor to it. Wasn't always scary, a lot of fun. Even reading books as a kid, Goosebumps, R.L. Stein. Always into the horror. So I always had that in my head. Even when I did VSW, which is funny because originally VSW wasn't VSW. Imagine that. VSW was not VSW. It was missing one key element in the whole thing. And guess what that was, folks? The wrestling. It had no wrestling. When I first started my channel, me and my friend came up with this idea. We were running comedy. And it ended up being comedy skits, some kind of urban, some kind of ended up turning horror. And it kind of evolved into something later on. We'll get into that a little bit as we talk all this, but because it does have a point of why we get into this during this episode. But we started out this channel running like I said, different skits. We did a dead man skit where one of us would find a dead body and kind of just react like, oh. We did like robbery skits with funny like tools. You rob you with the harmonica, funny things like that, different things. And then we got into the Halloween season, and I just thought, we should, maybe do something kind of scary, something kind of, more on the horror side. Me being a big horror fan, love that. So we went out to a Halloween store, to go and, search for stuff. He found this really cool mask. I found this terrifying little clown mask. It wasn't too terrifying at the time. It was kind of basic, and I found a zombie outfit. That's all I can say. It's not really, it's a suit, but it's kind of torn. And I put the two together and I had this vision in my head. So I worked on the mask for a little bit. I needed, to edit it. So I ended up using, various waxes and, different latexes and kind of made the textures that I wanted, repainted it, put more makeup, put more blood on it, made it more realistic. And put it all together with that zombie costume and created the character Twinkle Toes. Twinkle Toes was this maniacally killer dancing clown. Crazy. And it all started with a quick little skit we did one day called Dance or Die. And basically it was one of us, rolling up on the other one going, dance the best you can or I'm going to oof you. And this is how it's going to go. And so, the dance went and it was, either good or bad. And the kid was really enjoying it. And then I said, let's bring in this clown. I got an idea. And I started to write a backstory for Twinkle Toes. And basically the backstory for Twinkle Toes went something similar or sort of on the lines of, there was this, single mom. She, was in the arts and a dancer all her life, trying to make it, a professional career. She ended up having a kid. One thing happened after another, and she ended up getting injured, and it ended her dancing career. She was very bitter about this, kind of took it out on the child a little bit, and then, kind of forced him to dance, learn how to dance. Even nights, he would have blisters on his feet. She'd still be making him dance and get the moves right and, keep it going. And she installed this into him so much that, it became basically just part of his personality. And, so he's kind of driven by this kind of dance force. And, over the years, it continues. And then eventually, the mother mysteriously disappears. We're guessing, Twinkle Toes moved her. We're not really told, though. It's kind of just, up to the reader. And, I kind of wrote this in a kind of a creepypasta sort of way where it was, could be interpreted in many different directions. And then, it goes on to basically, him having this desire to find the perfect dancer, and he would go around hosting these mini kind of saw-like games where he would force people to either dance or die. And we did it for a little bit, and we did this whole other skit where I as Twinkle Toes, we went down the river, we filmed a little video, and it was kind of cool. It had a scene where I stalked him, and I actually choked him out a little bit, and then I murdered the other guy on the screen, and we did the whole film. It was a short kill scene, and basically what it was me and him were kind of these we get a storyline where me and him were kind of these influencers, whatever you want to call it, YouTube guys, and the clown was kind of stalking us, and eventually the clown found us, and he found us online, and we had like videos of him like looking on the computer, watching us, and different things. And I was playing the clown, he played himself, and then I kind of attacked him. We did the whole thing, and it worked great. It cinematically looked nice. We did it at night, and it was a really great it was a fun time. And you'll be able to see that too on this video right now.
Hey, you guys, watch what I'm gonna do. This is my favorite game.
What are you guys filming Star Search or something? America's Got Talent?
Who are you? You have any?
Tons of talent. I can name it all 20 digits.
You want to do a real count? Can you tell me what it says in the bag?
You're dead.
Exactly. That's my favorite game. What's in the bag? Merry-go-round, 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 merry-go-round.
Right, that was pretty cool, right? That was pretty cool. And here's the original like Dance or Die version that didn't really involve the clown.
Yo.
That was great, right? Too. And both of those together, we kind of put this together, and we came up with this storyline. Like I said, this Dance or Die thing. It's been kind of in our back of our head for a little bit, and we might be running it again and doing something with it, kind of resurrecting it. And there was another one that came into it where it's called Snake Eater. And this was kind of just a real goofy kind of flick that we kind of just threw together, really short. These are all shorts. And that was the whole thing with our channel. We did these short kind of little things. I said, finding a dead man on the ground, finding a guy sleeping on your lawn, and just him explaining to you, why is he here? And you just, trying to be mad about it, and him just giving you these crazy answers. And it's just like, how do you interact? And it was a lot of fun, funny stuff. But here's the like I said, the Snake Eater. Check this out, because this was, like I said, a little bit different, and we just kind of let loose on it.
Yo, God, I'm about to rob someone. Please forgive me this sin. Just my tummy's very grumbly, and I'm extremely hungry, and I don't know what the fuck to do. So, God be with me. All right, let's go. All right, fucking party. Let's see. I'm on out there. Oh shit, that's not bad. Yo, give me your fucking money, dog.
What?
Yeah, give me everything you got.
You want my money?
I sure don't want that fucking hat or those slacks. What the fuck are you wearing? Whoa. What?
How about you want my snake? You want my snake too?
No, I don't want anything, snake.
You know what?
What the fuck? You got paid?
I'll tell you about what.
What?
How about you come work for me?
I work for you?
Yeah.
For that? Do you offer health insurance? Dental?
You take the money.
What? You didn't even answer?
Now you're in.
What? No, I don't want it.
I'll go first.
What? Go first what? What the fuck is that? That's a real snake?
It was.
What the fuck is
Now
going
here.
on? You want
You eat.
What? I'm not eating a fucking snake. Are you out of your fucking mind?
You joined. You agreed.
Okay, you hold the camera.
I will.
Fine. I'll hold my money. I hope you fucking offer dental.
It's a little tough when they're still alive.
Oh, this is fucking sick. Anyway, I'm in company. So, you want to buy a necklace?
I said you work for me now.
What? What do we do? Road construction? Surveys? What do we do? Fire cook?
You ever hear Dance or Die?
No, what's that? What the fuck?
That's what we playing tonight.
Dance or die?
Yeah.
What?
Here, hold your phone. I'll show you how we play.
Okay. Take these Versace's.
Here, I'll show you. Look in the bag.
Why? What's in it?
That was the card. Oh, man. So much fun with that one. Really was. We both had a lot of fun. And so with all that put together, like I said, we did the whole kind of Twinkle Toes, and I kept writing about Twinkle Toes. I kept kind of, putting it, refining it rather, and then I kind of just made Twinkle Toes this character that would put out other short stories, and you can probably find it online. Twinkle Toes Tales of Terror or Tales of Horror, and it's just short horror stories. And eventually, maybe do an anthology where it is something like Tales from the Crypt. Or like something like like the new spook show, creep show, where there's episodes and just short stories being told. So I mean that would be the ideal plan if I was to do anything more with it. But cool character, like I said, the Twinkle Toes character, and you'll see some fun with that too. We're gonna we'll play around with that character here for you guys, especially only here exclusively right now. Merry-go-round, murder-go-round, merry-go-round, murder-go-round, merry-go-round, murder-go-round, merry-go-round, murder-go-round, merry-go-round, murder-go-round, merry-go-round, murder-go-round.
I'm gonna do.
What?
This is my favorite game.
What are you guys filming? Star Search or something? America's Got Talent?
Who are you? Do you have any talent?
Tons of talent. I can name them on all 20 digits.
You want to do a real count? Can you tell me what it says in the back?
No.
Then I guess you are untalented.
What is it, fortune cookie?
Yeah, look deep inside. You'll see your fortune.
What does it say?
Yes, sir. That's my favorite game. What's in the bag? You wanna play again? You wanna play? Dance the guy? Drizzle, I'm coming for you. Let's see how well you can dance. You know you will.
And I mean, like I said, it's just a fun kind of character, goofy kind of clown with a little bit of heart to it. Great character for this time of the year. Love to kind of use it and utilize it and play with it. A lot of fun. But like I said, that was the original kind of idea when I started the whole, channel. And then wrestling got involved. Wrestling got involved in a funny kind of back end way. We were watching YouTube videos and I remembered an old promo. My other friend was talking about, to backtrack a little bit, he wanted to see something that would hype him up. And I remember, me being a lifelong wrestling fan, I might have not watched wrestling a lot at the time, but I still knew obviously a lot of wrestling, especially from the 80s and 90s. So, something came in my head about this Macho Man Randy Savage promo that he did back in the day. And he is just going crazy with it, and it's like cream of the crop, and it's way over the top. It's so amped up. So I showed him this, and he's just dying laughing, thinking it's funny. And it was funny, but it also kind of sparked an interest in pro wrestling again, where I wanted to kind of do wrestling skits. And could we do like a wrestling kind of promotion out of skits? And from there, it became something even more than that. It almost became like a real promotion. And we were going to run a show, and then a lot of things just happened in this industry, especially with that. If things aren't right, don't do it. And it just wasn't right. So we didn't do it. But the wrestling then got incorporated and reabsorbed into doing a lot of stuff with the independent scene as the year gone, especially during the pandemic and the interviews and all of that. And that all came into it. And then we had video games into the thing as well. Big video games. Always have been, but a lot of the Xbox games are a lot of fun to play. And so I've been doing that as well, throwing those up there and just having fun with that. And that's, what the VSW today is. It's a mixture of horror, video games, and, wrestling, pro wrestling. Mostly indie, like I said. I don't really do a lot of WWE and AEW. Well, I do love them, and I do love to watch them. I find it's a very, very, very saturated market in there. There's a lot of people talking the product, a lot of people, that are closer to the product than I am, that know more, they know more, and they're, like I said, can get the front row access. They're getting to talk to superstars. They're getting closer, so they're going to have a better, show for that, and a better, it's a better product. I agree, with a lot of that kind of stepping back. We made that decision early on with the BSW that we wouldn't really kind of go that way because it wasn't really drawing. And, like I said, in a market of, millions and millions and millions of WWE fans, it's very hard to compete. And I wasn't trying to compete with anybody. I still not. The whole point of VSW is to get eyes and ears on that independent wrestling scene. And I will still stand by to do that. I want people to know about, these great promotions out there like NCW, Limitless Wrestling, Atlantic Road, EWA is coming back. I mean, you got still Chaotic, Top Rope, Showcase, Proving Ground, RWA, the list goes on and on, and, newer and greater promotions even coming up, like I said, you got Rad and all these other great things, plus Kill City Cup and other wrestling projects that, exploded the scene and really have taken New England by storm with a lot of great pro wrestlers in these promotions. So it's something, really exciting to kind of tune into and to watch, but very far from kind of the original intent of this channel. My love really for independence really fell in when I started to, see these guys as, more than just wrestlers. Because I would, be on, social media, and I would see their posts, and they were, posting about real stuff, cool stuff, but real stuff, and it was like, wow, they're, it's not like a WWE superstar where they're almost on this Hollywood level. These people are just humans like me and you, and you can engage some of them at that level, and it's really cool to do so because then you can see them on the ring at another level and still engage with them, but as a fan or as whatever you want to do, and it's just different. It's different. So it was cool to kind of get into that. And I really kind of started to follow along a lot of the guys and the girls that happened to be attached to a lot of these promotions that I still follow today. And, it just kind of spiraled into one show after another. And then, in 21, we went all over the place. We went, to Jersey, to Maine, everywhere. And we saw a lot of great wrestling, and still a lot of great wrestling today that we are seeing. We just went, Elkmania at 10 was great. And there's all these other great shows. We got Limitless coming up, EWA, Let's Wrestle, bunches and bunches and bunches of, just good indie wrestling that's solid. And of course, again, I can't stress enough, Kill City Cup, one of the best wrestling movies on the planet. I have to say that. I mean, there's nothing else out there like it right now. It's very cool. It takes, basically your favorite fighting video game and times it by pro wrestling and you add in movie elements, horror, sci-fi, different elements, and it becomes this beautiful project that's just it's in symphony and it's in harmony and it just works and it's perfectly executed. Doesn't get no better than that. If you haven't seen it yet, you should definitely check it out. It's on YouTube and it's called the Kill City Cup. You can find it, and it's just, they have their own channel. Hit the subscribe button first, and go there and watch the video. It's about like an hour long. It's free. You don't have to pay anything. Great wrestlers. You're getting all these great names. Matt Seidel, Jimmy Jacobs, Brian Cage, Zip Monk, Nikita, Queen Gia. The list goes on and on. I mean, I've met a lot of these guys and girls, and I've had some of them on my show, like April Hunter, Mason X, the technical one, the doctor. So many, just like I said, characters that you might not see on the independent scene. You might see, the people, but you're not going to see the characters, and that's what makes things so much different. And that's what makes it fun. Rad Pro is another great promotion where they take your favorite superstars and turn them into somebody else. And that's really, really fun. I love seeing different stuff like that. It's not the same old. As much as we all love indie wrestling, we can all agree on one thing, and eventually it kind of gets a little stale. It gets a little repetitive. You got to kind of shake things up a little bit. These kind of shows definitely do that and make it for a great time. So I definitely recommend you checking them out. It will change your perspective on pro wrestling. It'll change your perspective on how indie wrestling is. It'll change your perspective on how movies are. It'll change your perspective on a lot of things. Check out Kill City Cup. You're not gonna want to miss it. I mean, if you haven't watched already, what are you waiting for, honestly? And again, check out all our interviews that we've done with some of these superstars. So again, Mason X, April Hunter, Queen Gia. We even got, the person that plays Zip Monk, Connor Murphy on the podcast, David Mercury, and more. And we got more probably to even come. We love Kill City Cup. We love Mr. Kill. We love Kill Corp. We love it all. It is great.
Welcome to the Kill City Cup.
But yeah, so we're gonna do a bunch of different kind of like horror things, gaming horror things, survival horror, and mix it up with some fun, footage. We've been playing around with a lot of different video editors, some AI, some traditional. We're making kind of weird ass films. We're gonna be playing around with that. We're gonna have a whole bunch of fun stuff happening within now and the next day. So just kick back, relax, and just chill, because it's going to be a hell of a time. Can't get enough of this guy, right? Can't get enough of Kill City. You gotta check out Mason X. He is a madman on the loose. Check it out. Watch it. Check out our interview. It is wonderful. You're not going to be disappointed. Welcome, everybody. It's your boy, the Versace Stoner, with another episode of VSW.
This one's a big tune.
That's right, folks. Big news flash. Oh my God! VSW.
seats and bow down to the king.
One of the greatest in this game, and one of my favorite all-time people in this game. The Versace Stunner!
It's places like this. I started in a mill. I'm here still in a mill. I consider myself a mill wrestler.
Welcome, everybody. It's your boy, the VSW Stunner. We're here with a very special episode of VSW Podcast, part of our Horror Night stream. That's right. We're going back into Kill City. We're going to talk to one of its darkest, most dangerous creatures. And that is right. He's here live with us, folks. Mason X.
Here. Talk your piece.
You know, this is, I have to say, thank you again for taking the time to come on. You took, the last time you came on, we had a great episode, but we didn't have the video feature. We didn't have all this other stuff. I do thank you, honestly, for taking the time to come out, and I have to say, talking over and seeing you in person, it does no, justices. I love the mask. I love the horror. I love everything about it. I'm a big horror fan, always have been. And something seeing, as we talked before, bringing that horror into pro wrestling and just merging the two beautifully, it's just something it just really captivates my heart.
I gotta say, I love making these masks. They're a reflection of my soul, or lack thereof. I spend countless hours crafting these, shaping these, from skin, from leather, plastics, and metal.
I have to say, just that it kind of reminds me of like how bring the horror, like how Leatherface would kind of craft his mask and kind of take pieces of this and take pieces of that and kind of alter it. And you I guess when you're a killer, I wouldn't know this. I'm not one, but you kind of take some pleasure and pride in this mask. It becomes almost a part of you.
Each one is unique, and you are correct. Each one is a part of me. Depending on how I'm feeling will very much dictate what face shows up to the party.
And what a party that can be, again, just watching, over and over again, as you must see, Kill City Cup has been going almost viral. If not, it's there. We got a lot of people sharing it now, a lot of people into it. And, we've watched it many, many times. We've gotten to see your match many, many times. And just seeing the just destructive force that you brought into that cup, it's got everybody thirsty for more.
I'm definitely thirsty for more violence. I only got to show a small fraction of what I can do. Next time, there'll be so much more.
And that is just something, that keeps coming up, and it's just left in the open. Obviously, we know there will be a second one. I would think it would be crazy not to have a second one with this much, greatness. But it's also comes to a point where there's still potential for this first one to get more views, more eyes, more ears. So you don't want to just cut it off when it's just kind of steamrolling. You gotta, let that kind of take its course. I know people hate that. I know fans sometimes hate that. I know even movie fans will hate that because a movie will be so good and they're like, oh, we want a sequel. And it's like, no, you got to kind of wait till it rides. And that's kind of what this got to do, because it's just kind of getting noticed on a bigger level. I mean, last time we talked, it was out there, and yes, it was being shared. But now, like I said, maybe 100-fold. Just the amount of posts I'm seeing, the amount of interactions I'm seeing on posts, people getting into it, people talking about their favorite match, favorite character, people are getting more into the storyline of Kill City. I see more podcasters bringing in more guests. I brought in more guests. I got the Queen on here. I got, Amy on here. I got in so many, great Hill Study Cup, combatants on here, and I've seen it. It's going on other podcasts too. That's just, it's getting so much bigger. That has to, again, you being a part of that, being a part of this, it has to, bring you joy to see it getting this big now.
I look at it like torturing someone. You don't want it over with quickly. You want to build. You want to take your time. Yes, I want Kill City Cup too, but we're not ready for it yet. There's still so much more suffering to be had.
And that's the beauty of it. There is a lot more to be had. There's a lot more to kind of, like I said, kind of delve into that, first film. You can even like deep dive into that. There's so many conspiracy theories now floating around. What is Queen Gia's real role? Is she really, aligned with Mr. Kill? Is she gonna, backstab him? Who is this one? What is this one? Is the machine really destroyed? Are they gonna rebuild? I'm seeing all sorts of theories, conspiracy theories. Everything's out there now, and it's great. I love seeing that kind of stuff when it comes to, not just, movies, but when it comes to wrestling and wrestling movies. And this happens to be everything all together.
So one good thing about machines, you can destroy one, you can always build another, rebuild the one you had.
And that is true. I'm sure, Leon has the original model for that, or at least the blueprints for it. Now, speaking of blueprints, I was going to go back to a further question earlier on, and it was back pertaining to your mask. Now, before you decide to craft this thing, do you do a sketch? Do you get a vision? How does it come to you?
I would say it very much comes to me like a vision. I stare at the blank material, and my mind carves it away into what it's supposed to be, what it sees it to be, and then my hands start working it. I almost never sketch out my designs. Makes each mask unique. Part of this.
I can really appreciate that. Being an artist myself and working in different mediums, I've done some mask work. I've done, some, a lot of mostly just, drawing and sketches. But kind of keeping each piece unique in that aspect where there isn't actually an original. This is the original, and this is it, and this is the only thing that exists. And I'm wearing it. You can try to recreate, you can try to copy it. It will never be the same. Cool. But like I said, and that's just something, that it just brings another aspect to you. It's just, the mask. It is part of, your character. We see you in one mask. Well, we know that you might be in this sort of mood. If we see you in another, well, this might go a different way.
For me, one thing I take pride in, I didn't have to go pay some other artist to make my ensemble. I did it myself. Every last piece of what I wear, I made. Every piece has been touched by me in some way to make it unique to me. Half the guys you see out there in indie wrestling right now, they'll wear a creepy mask that they paid someone to make for them. This one and every single one I've ever worn were made by my own two hands. Countless hours. Half my masks have my own blood all over them because it's just the nature of the beast. We are cutting and burning and stretching and shaping. A little bit of your lifeblood will get into your creation. You could say like Bob Ross that it's a happy little accident.
That's great. And you are right about that. There's a lot of mask makers out there, almost as many as there are belt makers. There's a lot of those guys too. But let me ask you a question. If you happen to be one of those people that do need to buy a creepy mask and you need to kind of quick and you have no creative skill and you have to go online and buy one, Do you know where you would find one of those?
So, for a price, I'll make a mask for a person. All you have to do is find me on Mason X Mask. There's others on a site called Etsy. There's some creative people out there. If you wear one just because you like wearing a mask, which I'm not going to fault you for, that's a good place to go. Now, if I see you as a fellow wrestler, a fellow combatant, wearing somebody else's hard work, I'm going to take it personal. Because you didn't have the sack, the man up and take the time to make it yourself.
But I mean, hey, if you're gonna buy one from the best, and just by what he's wearing, you can see that is one of the best. And like I said, I do always appreciate artists out there. It doesn't matter the medium, whether it, like I said, it could be mask, could be music, could be their own song, could be their own gear, could be whatever it is. If you're doing it yourself and you're making it work, then you're a success in my book. If you can create something and get it sold, doesn't matter if it's just one copy of it. It could be for $1. You sold your creativity. That means that it was successful. I look at that as a success. A lot of people don't. Some people want, a bigger or more grandeur thing, but it's a small kind of piece to kind of keep things going. So now back to the Kill City Cup 2 kind of talking, we obviously it hasn't happened yet. It hasn't even been announced, but have you had any matches in between since Kill City Cup 1? Have you been fighting anybody?
If you see the rise of crime and violence in your town, it might be me. Or it might not. Guess the devil's in the details, and you might have to read between the lines. But if there's an opportunity to fight and it shows up, I'll be there. All you gotta do is summon the devil.
You gotta love it, folks. This is the season to do such a thing if you're trying to worship, summon, or do anything with demons, devils, or any kind of those forces, And I always love Halloween, and that's why I try to get the horror guests on this time of year. I try to do horror movie reviews. This Kill City Cup is kind of everything. It's the horror, it's the terror, everything, but it also is the wrestling, and it is the gaming too, which is a lot of fun. A lot of fun. But this time of year there was a lot of horror involved, and I did hear you, sir, are in a competition involving horror. The face of it.
Yes, I am competing for the second time in a row in Faces of Horror. The prize is $13,000. And although I'm not normally someone who ties a lot of concern into monetary things, it makes it a hell of a lot easier to make more of my faces.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, 13,000 can't really get you shit in Kill City. They don't. I don't even think they'll look at you. And monetary, and people don't even, like I said, people don't. It doesn't non-existent. But you can buy good supplies. You can buy more things to craft, create, and just be a little bit more comfortable. That's great, though. And how can people give you these votes? How can we get you to this very unlucky sum of money?
You can go on Faces of Horror's website. I'll send you the link, and you can vote. You can vote free once a day. Or, if you're an enterprising soul, you can pay to vote. Make your votes count more.
Well, there you go, folks. Look at that. You can actually help a real life horror character win a horror competition. This would be great. This would be great for Mason X and great for Kill City. Puts it even more on the map. That's the thing about Kill City. All these guys, individual, amazing, great people. And everything they do, it reflects back to Kill City Cup. And it's great to see this kind of stuff. And it's great to see people, beyond just the ring. I love seeing it just get beyond that and still being something that I enjoy. Sometimes it gets beyond the ring and it becomes something totally different. This is not the case. This becomes just an adaptation of what happens in the ring, just forward. And I love it. Can't get enough. It's like Alice in Wonderland to me. You know, I'm in the Wonderland when I go to Kill City Cup. And, you know, there's a lot of, again, steam coming with it. And I've been seeing a lot of posts. I'm seeing premieres left and right. I'm seeing things on cable. I'm seeing, you know, all sorts of stuff happening. I believe there is a few premieres coming.
You would be correct. I know we are going to be doing a screening here in Maine at the Bangor Comic-Con. That one I will be at. I'm doing this as a campaign to bring more awareness to the faces of horror, because one of the other things, besides the $13,000, is a chance to be face-to-face with Kane Hodder. And for those who do not know who Kane is, he's the man who played Jason Voorhees multiple times in Friday the 13th. You could say he's something of a inspiration.
Amazing. And, you know, speaking of phases of horror and horror people and icons, I know that I believe it is the 15th that the Comic-Con is. I'm going to go there. I know I am. But on the 14th, you guys are going to get a very special guest if you're into horror and you like clowns. The Clown is going to be there, signing autographs and taking photos and such. Great, bloody kind of a clown. It you know, took Pennywise and turned it into like X-rated. I'm a big horror fan, so I like all that kind of stuff. And that's great that they give such a prize. You know, you don't just get kind of cash, you get some kind of prestige with it. And you get to meet someone that, you know, is an inspiration to a lot of people in the horror world. You know, whether it be, you know, mass makers or whether it be, you know, inspiring actors and such. A lot of people look to these, you know, these guys and girls that have played these roles that, you know, still today haunt us and still today captivate us. You know, a lot of these movies have never lost touch. You know, some movies do, but, you know, a lot of the classic horrors, a lot of the Friday the 13th, Halloween, you know, Nightmare on Elm Street, a lot of these have never lost. You know, you can still watch them today and they'll still just bring as much value to your life as it did back then. That's my opinion. I mean, like I said, I'm a horror fan. I watch it all year round. I'm one of those people that just wait till October to, you know, start gearing up. I do enjoy horror all year round. But, you know, this time of year I get to celebrate a little bit more and feel a little bit more normal doing so. So yeah, so you're going to be at the Comic-Con, and I think also the Queen herself is going to be there.
The Queen will be there, and I'll be there to protect her from anything that gets in the way of her or Killcore.
Well, that's good, because, I mean, I'm sure after the betrayal and everything, I'm sure there's a bounty probably on her head by now. I mean, look who she betrayed. It's not going to end well eventually, but she is well protected. I mean, it's Killcorp. They got the world by the balls.
I would say that anyone who tries to tangle with her greatly underestimates her powers.
Well, you know, I can't wait to see all this come to fruition. I can't wait to be there myself and see everybody in person and, you know, meet you all face to face. And again, I do thank you for taking time out of your day to come and bring me this exclusive kind of talk with you. I'll let you get back to your Kill City duties over there. You look like you guys see some hazards. I see some nuclear waste. I don't want you to get exposed for too long. But thank you very much, Mason X, for joining me today. And we will see you soon. And everybody, make sure to go out there, you know, give him a vote. Check out his PW Pro Wrestling T-shirts website. You know, buy a shirt. Support indie wrestling, as always. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Versace Stoner out.
I can't get enough of this guy. Welcome to the Kill City
isn't he kind of scary? We love him though. We love Mason X. Definitely, you're gonna want to check out everything that he has to offer, especially those masks. They are on point. And just check out Kill City Cup. Can't stress it enough, folks. Can't stress it enough. Kill City Cup. And here's a montage now, folks, of some of our most favorite kind of scary horror, kind of wrestling orientated spots and scenes and such. Check it out. We threw this little montage together. Enjoy. Wasn't that fun, folks? Perfect for spooky season. Somebody will say to me what's your top 5 favorite horror movies of all time? And I will go, well, let's think about it for a second. We're talking all time, so we're going way, way back. We're talking everything that I've ever seen. And I'm thinking, and it goes, well, my 5th favorite movie is going to be Halloween. I love Halloween. It's a great story. Michael Myers, babysitters, just great story. My 4th favorite film would have to be Nightmare on Elm Street. Love Freddy Krueger. I love him just as much as Halloween, but something about Freddy Krueger. So somebody said to name my 5 top favorite horror movies, and I'm just of all time, this is gonna be hard. I love horror. There's so many of them, and it's very difficult. But if I had to do it, I guess let's do it. Let's try at least. Coming in at number 5 would be Nightmare on Elm Street. I have to say, it is up there as one of my favorite films because, it brought something different that other slasher films didn't have at the time, and that was the whole dream kind of immersion. And just, it made it really scary because it's something that, you can't kind of control. Your dream, and have this madman chasing you in your nightmares is very, very kind of a scary reality. Coming in at number 4, I would have to say, would be Friday the 13th. I loved Friday the 13th. It had a little bit more depth as it got on and a little bit more horror and less comedy than, Nightmare on Elm Street did as a franchise. And just really kind of, delivered just this classic campy kind of feel. It's just great kind of horror. Number 3 is going to be Rosemary's Baby. I think that is just a great film. Very scary. Plays on the satanic panic, but it also plays into witchcraft and other kind of, little things. And it just has these great moments with great, I wouldn't even say music. It's just, use the music and sound and just everything. Terrifying. Number 2 is coming in at Halloween. Love Halloween. Love the franchise. I think it's great. Michael Myers, great character. Just really spirit of Halloween. Always have just been a fan of Michael Myers. Coming in at number 1, this is going to sound strange to a lot of people. It's a horror film. It's called Dead End. It came out years and years ago. It's kind of cheesy. It's basically, I won't spoil it, but it's basically about a family. They're going to a holiday. dinner. They end up on a stretch of road, and one by one, people start, getting abducted. They end up finding people dead, and the road just never ends. And you gotta kind of see what happens and how it plays. It's one of my favorite horror movies. It is my favorite horror movie, rather. At this point, if I'm naming my top 5, that is it. I watch it all the time. There's a lot of other horror movies out there, tons of them. A lot of people aren't gonna probably, agree with any of these that I like. They might like totally different 5 different videos. I watch a lot of horror though, so like I said, to pick 5 definitive, favorites, it's very hard to do. But there it is, folks. There it is. And again, thank you for watching this Halloween special. I hope everybody has a spooky time. And speaking of spooky, folks, check out Spooky Lou and wrestling. That's right. Check it out right here, right above. You're gonna wanna. It is a great channel. Go hit that sub button. Listen to all his interviews. Listen to all of his wrestling. Watch all of it. Great content, folks. Great content. VSW, Versace Stoner. Approved. We're actually going to hear it happen. Coming on the show soon. Very soon, folks. First week in November. That's right around the corner. So you're going to want to watch that episode. It's like the mega powers, 2 powers colliding. In a good way, though. In a good way. Gotta love it. Gotta love this. Gotta love pro wrestling. Gotta love indie wrestling. Gotta love, when collabs and podcasts all get together and great content can be created in a fun way, It doesn't happen all the time. Some people can be kind of snobby and kind of snobbish. They don't want to, collab. They don't want to do other, things. But this is all fun, right? It's all supposed to be fun. So I love doing collabs with people. I love doing, side projects and different things. And I think, promoting other people's channels and showing other people, hey, you might like me, cool. You might not like me, cool. But there's other people that you can check out that are just as good or good people in this, business that does this. Check them out. Doesn't hurt. You can sub more than one channel on YouTube. You can like more than one video. You can watch more than one video. It's not like you have to, just pick a channel and stick to it. So much content out there. You can support many content creators. There's no need for people to be like, I want to, can't share this guy. Don't talk about him. No. If you're out there and you're putting yourself out there and you're creating content on YouTube, whether it's for fun, whether it's for money, whether it's, for your business, whether it's for, your wrestling career, whatever it might be, you're putting yourself out there. We're all in the same boat, We're all in the same. We're all just, trying to get views and trying to, get out there and get our messages across. A lot of the times I do it just for fun. I enjoy talking to pro wrestlers. I enjoy, getting to hear their stories and getting to see them, get heard and seen by fans farther away that might not normally see them, at an indie show because they may not live in the state. They may not even live in the country. I've found people from England to talk about chaotic wrestling. I think that is great. I've also gone people out of state to talk about NCW, and I think it was really kind of fun during the pandemic era for me any which way, because a lot of these shows got shown on YouTube and a lot of the people would come in and watch them, and you could kind of interact with fans and kind of gain, where are they coming from? And then I'd always tell them, of course, check out my previews and recaps. And at that point, we were heavily, previewing and recapping. Now, not so much. They just don't do well. And every time I preview a show, maybe an hour after it drops, they'll announce a great match or something that I should have talked about that I can't now. And it's just too late. So I'm just recap, different story. We might start doing stuff, getting better footage and kind of, recapping the matches and kind of, getting it more interactive than just, me saying, this is a great match and this one beat this one and so forth and so on. But, that's for, the future. And we will just have to see what happens with that. But we will be continuing, the interviews, of course, the weird and wild videos and, the gaming. Of course, my kid loves, like I said, the gaming. So we will, we'll keep trying that out and keep checking those, videos. Sometimes we do good. Most of the time we do bad. But it's fun. It is. It really is. It really is. And I do thank each and every one of you for checking out the VSW's Halloween special.